Hey guys, we're here in the shop today, and I wanted to do a quick video sharing a new product that I make. This is called our Fast Action Chain Tool, and it's a pretty cool, simple and effective product that helps you check your chain tension and adjust your chain tension really simply. It also helps you with rear tire removal and rear tire reinstallation. And I just wanted to show you guys how to use it and why I think this is a pretty cool little product. We sell these on our website, 2stroke4strokemoto.com, and they're actually all made here. They're made in this shop on a CNC machine out of billet polyethylene sheet and assembled here, and they ship straight out of here. So bear with me, and I'll show you guys how to use the tool and why I think it's a pretty useful and interesting tool. All right, guys, well, here's my 2018 300SX bike. It's got 283 hours on it, so it's definitely not new. And I did a pretty good ride on it this weekend where I really wrung it out. And, you know, at first sight, you would look at this and say, well, is my chain too loose or too tight? It's kind of hard to tell just by looking at a bike. So this tool helps you really quickly identify if your chain is getting out of spec. So quickly, what you want to do on this tool is adjustable here with this component here. This component slides up and down. And so what you want to do is you want to adjust this height per your user's manual. And this height will correspond exactly to this distance here. Now on KTMs, it's really easy because KTM actually specifies an exact distance between here and here, and they put that in the manual. So you would take that distance and you would loosen this nut or this bolt, and you would adjust this slider up and down to get that correct distance, and then you would lock this down. I've already adjusted these this particular tool for a KTM. You know, this tool could work for a Honda or a Yamaha or a Kawasaki. They're designed for any full-size dirt bike, and you can just make the adjustment here in this part. But once you have it adjusted, which is nice, to check the chain tension is really simple. You just take the tool, slide it up, and stand up the tool like this, flush up against some known reference like this, like this chain guide here, and then you just see how there's basically no slack here at this top section, right? And that's exactly what you want. You want it to be snug. You want to be able to get the tool in, but you want it to have basically no slack up here. And so this chain is actually really close to spec. It's maybe just slightly loose, but it's really close to spec. And it's just a really quick and easy way to check the chain tension. What's nice about this tool also is you don't really have to touch the chain. You know, you can keep your hands away from the chain, and you can just put the tool in and out really easily, and just quickly check. Yeah, is my chain in spec? Yeah, it's really, really close, right? Now, if your chain was out of spec, you could actually just leave the tool just sitting right there, and then make your adjustments on the set screws towards the back of the swing arm, and keep turning those set screws until your chain is nice and taut, and then you can just remove the tool. Really easy process. So here's my 450 SX bike, and this has less hours on it, and I didn't ride it super hard last weekend. So let's do the same process on this chain. Let's see if it's in spec. Now, these two bikes have the same identical spec set by the user's manual, so I can use this same tool. I would take my tool, maybe take some of the dirt off here on the swing arm. Then I just slot it in and rotate up. Yeah, and you can see there's good tension on the chain here. I would say it's good. I like to run my chains just slightly loose, and so to me this is just perfect. And yeah, so that's literally a 20-second check on your chain tension for this bike. Now, what's cool about this tool, which I didn't mention on the 300SX, is if you like to run your chain just a little loose or a little tight, you can take the user's manual, set it to spec, and then just play with this distance just a little bit up and down. And there's little registration marks on this part. You can go up and down slightly just to get to your preference of getting your perfect chain tension. So this is pretty much perfect for me. That's where I like to run my chains. So now if we look at the rear wheel, and let's say we're going to take the rear wheel off to swap out tires or swap out rims, This tool actually helps you, it kind of gives you like a bonus feature. It kind of helps you keep stuff off the floor. So I take my tool here, kind of just set it on the ground, and I can hold my hardware right into the tool. It's actually really nifty. So I have Australian Shepherds, so they get hair all over this floor. So I hate putting greasy components directly on the floor because they just pick up dirt and hair. If you're outside at the track or you're outside on the trail and you don't want to lay your greased components on the ground, the tool is perfect for kind of holding your stuff off the ground, hold your nut in place, hold your spacer in place, and then best of all, it'll actually hold, if I can pull this off, you can hold your axle right off the ground. So everything's in one spot, your stuff is off the ground, it's off the dirt, you're not getting dirt on your components, you're not getting grease on your floor in this case, and then I can go ahead and just remove the wheel and do what I need to do with the wheel. So now we go into rear wheel reassembly, right? So let's say we pull the old wheel off, we put a new tire in, or maybe we change the sprocket. At this point, we would check or set chain tension. We do the same process here. We'd slide the tool in, slide all the way forward. It stands up and locks in place. You can see the chain. It didn't change in this case because I didn't change anything. But if you change sprocket or you're putting a different wheel or a different chain in, at this point you could put the tool in, keep everything loose, and then make your adjustment on the rear wheel assembly to get you the right chain tension. So you can actually leave the tool in there. When your chain tension is set and you're ready to lock everything down, the tool also has another feature, which is found right here. And what you do is you actually put that feature right in the sprockets here, the sprocket in the sprocket teeth, and you actually rotate. If you rotate the tire back, it'll drive the rear wheel assembly forward, and then you can tension your wheel with the tire actually being driven forward in the correct location, and that will set your wheel forward into the set screws here and maintain the correct alignment and the correct chain tension before you bolt everything down or tighten everything down. So let's take a closer look at the tool. The whole tool is made out of polymer or plastic. It is CNC machined out of a 1/2-inch thick solid polyethylene sheet, which is extremely tough and durable. It's the stuff they make skid plates out of. And then it's got other components here, which are also made out of polymer. And those components are, some of them are wear items, like the slider part is a wear item potentially, and then the base is a wear item. I would doubt you're going to wear those out, but you can replace those parts, which is nice. So you have the slider, which basically sets your chain tension, and that is set per your manual or per your preference. You have this base plate, which kind of lets the tool sit into the swing arm. And then you have these other little features. This holds kind of your nut in place when it's on the floor, and this slot can hold a collar or a washer. And then you have these other kind of raised features which hold your axle across on the floor. And then you have this wedge feature here, which helps you kind of lock that wheel back, like I showed, or lock the wheel forward when you rotate the wheel back and it wedges itself. The whole thing is, you can dunk the whole thing in water to wash it off. Easy to store in a toolbox. It's flat, it's not going to scratch anything, and it's pretty much indestructible. And if you happen to wear out some of the pieces on here, you could replace the primary components on it as well. So, well, there you go, guys. That's the quick introduction to our fast action chain tool. Yeah, these can be found on our website, 2t4tmoto.com. That's 2-stroke4-stroke-moto.com, and I'll put a link in the description below or here on the screen. And yeah, they're all made in the USA. They're all CNC machined here in the shop, at least for now. And pick one up. I'd love to ship one to you. Thanks for watching.